Hey, Harmony, are you there? I got something to say to you. I want you and I to get a divorce.
Excuse me? Are you serious? That's crazy. You can't just drop something like this on me out of the blue.
Well, my daughter Joy is finally going to be getting married, and so I think the timing is perfect for this.
But wait, what do you mean by that? Why does Joy getting married mean we have to separate? Did I do something wrong? Are you upset with me? I don't get why you're acting like this.
I don't have any problems with you at all, Harmony. In fact, I feel nothing but gratitude towards you. You took me in when I was a single father, looking for a new wife. Then you raised my daughter as if she was your own child too. I have to say that I truly am grateful for all that you've done for us.
But then why? Why do you want to divorce me if you don't have any problems with me? I thought that this would have brought us closer together. I thought with Joy getting married and leaving that we'd have more time to spend with each other.
That's exactly why now is the perfect time to get out of this marriage. I can't stand the thought of having to spend more time alone with you. That's why I'm going to be leaving you and getting back together with the ex-wife instead.
You can't be serious. You're going to leave me for your ex-wife.
That's right, her and I actually started talking again recently. Apparently she heard that Joy was going to be getting married and she wanted to talk a bit with me. So then we start reminiscing and stuff, and before we knew it, we agreed to meet up in person. That was when she told me that she wanted to get back together.
Did she really say that? I don't believe this.
Well, apparently she hasn't been able to stop thinking about me ever since we got divorced all those years ago. She said that when she saw me when we met up, that it was like getting hit with a flood of emotions. When I saw her, it also stirred things inside of me that I hadn't felt in a long, long time. It was then that I realised that I did, in fact, want to get back together with her.
What are you talking about? You do remember that you've been married to me for over 10 years, right? Are you telling me that that really doesn't mean anything to you? How can you just cast me aside to get back together with your ex?
Because I realise that she's the person I want to grow old and die with, Harmony. Besides, I'm sick and tired of putting up with all your nagging and fussing.
But I don't even do any of those things.
Look, I've already explained to you just how thankful I am for all that you've done for me. Besides, my ex-wife wasn't suited to raise children at all. That's why she left me in the first place. She still wanted to enjoy her youth and not be tied down. I've been raising Joy as a single father ever since then. So I was never able to go out and party with my friends or co-workers. I was always having to worry about budgeting and cooking, and it just never ended. And that's why I'm so grateful for you. You stepped in, you took so much of the work off my hands.
I didn't take the work off of your hands, Tom. We just began to work together like a husband and wife should. I remember the first time that we met. You looked so haggard and thin. I just knew that I had to step in and do something for both you and Joy's sake. And now this is how you thank me for all the years of my life I've dedicated to you two.
Well, I'm sorry, Harmony. It's true that after marrying you, I had a lot more time and money on my hands, but it's also a fact that I just never felt any love between us.
You can't be serious about that, right?
Now look, I know that my ex was never suited to raise any children, but we still just have so much in common with each other, and she's the person I want to be with now. I mean, we both just love getting to go out and explore and shop together. You're just so strict with money, and I feel like I'm hardly allowed to have any fun with you. You're always telling me that I can't just spend money on whatever I want, we have to prioritise the essentials, and I just feel like I can't do anything even in my own home.
Are you kidding me with this right now?
No, I mean, just the other day, I was telling you about how I wanted to get a new car. You said that I couldn't because there was nothing wrong with the car that I have now, remember? When I suggest going on a family vacation together, you complain about how we don't have the money to spend on things like that. I mean, what's the point of even working for money if you're not going to be able to spend it? I'm tired of living with a rat like you.
Do you really think that way about how we live? For whose sake is it that you think I've been trying to save money for, huh? The whole reason I'm always telling you to think about how we spend our money is because you don't know a thing about budgeting. I've had to hold back from buying so many things for myself because you don't know how to save.
Now you try and turn around, pin them all on me.
When we got married, you only had a few $100s to your name. And yet you were still asking me if I thought you buying a new car was a good idea. And we take plenty of vacations together, but we can't do that year-round. That's why we take one family vacation a year together. But we can't do that every month like how you want to. Besides, we need to think about saving our money so that we can put it towards paying for Joy's college tuition. But if you keep spending at this rate, I don't see how we're even going to have enough for ourselves when we're older.
Oh, please. We didn't need to save up any money for Joy's school. That's what student loans are for. I don't see why we'd have to pay for that just because we're her parents.
How can you say something like that? It's precisely because we're her parents that we should be working hard to provide her with opportunities for her to grow. It's the job of parents to prepare for this kind of thing.
Just where do you get off talking as if you're Joy's real mother, huh? You two aren't even related by birth. I'm the only real parent between us. You really need to remember your place before you open your mouth to talk to me about my daughter.
Excuse me? I know that you don't really mean that, Tom.
You want to know what I realised when I met up with Linda after she reached out to me? I knew that she was the only woman in the world who understood me. And now that she's finally gotten all her partying out of her system, it's time for me to take her back so we can begin our lives anew.
And I guess I'm just in the way of that then. And I guess we're going to pretend like I didn't spend 15 years of my life raising your daughter like my own child. I can't believe you're really just going to walk away from me as if I didn't save you and her from living in the streets.
Not just me, you know. Even Joy is, well, overjoyed that her mother came back to be in her life. She's so happy that we're going to be getting married again. So you just have to let me go already.
Okay, fine then. If that's really what you both want, then I know where I'm not wanted.
Good. I'm glad you understand. And don't you ever come near my daughter ever again. Got it? And that includes her wedding. I don't need you there, causing any unnecessary drama for us.
Harmony? Are you there? Do you have any idea what's going on? I heard from my dad that the two of you were getting a divorce. And Dad said that he was going to be getting back with my biological mom.
Oh, Joy. I'm so sorry that this is all happening so quickly. Your father barely even spoke to me about it before it was decided. But at least your parents are going to get married before you and your fiancé. Well, so I'm sure that it will be nice to see on the day of your wedding.
What are you talking about? Nothing about any of this is good. I don't want Linda there at my wedding. I want you. Do you really think that I would want the person who had me and then ran out of my life there standing next to me on what's supposed to be the happiest day of my life?
I'm really happy to know that you feel that way, Joy. But I just don't think that I'm going to be able to go. And I'm afraid that you and I may never be able to meet again. Your dad told me he never wanted me to go near you again.
He said what? What is the matter with him? Doesn't he realize that you were the woman who raised me as far back as I can remember? You're the only person I would ever feel comfortable calling my mom. I don't want Linda back, or anywhere near me.
Joy? I never knew you felt so strongly about me.
I am sick of those two. I've always hated my dad, and I've always hated my mom. Especially Linda. She chose to run around and have fun and left my dad to be the one to take care of me with no help. And meanwhile, my dad was always complaining about how he didn't know how to raise a daughter. And so he was looking for someone to marry to help take me off his hands ever since I can remember. They're both terrible parents, and I can't believe they're both mine.
Joy, come now. You shouldn't talk like that about your parents. I mean, the whole reason your mom reached out to your dad in the first place was because you heard you were getting married.
No, Harmony, you don't get to. She didn't reach out to my dad because she was happy to hear that I was getting married. I bet that she's just doing all of this because she thinks that she can get some money out of it. I think she probably knows that I'm engaged to marry the CFO of a very large company, and that's why she's trying to convince my dad to take her back.
I really don't think that's what your mom is trying to do, Joy. Why is it so hard to believe that the woman who gave birth to you is excited to see you get married and take this step towards adulthood?
I am I'm telling you that it isn't that at all. My mom is only out for herself because that's the kind of person that she is. She even reached out to me and was talking about my fiancé. She mentioned how rich he must be and then asked if I could start sending her money every month.
Wait, what? Did she really come to you asking for that?
She did. So I know for a fact that there's no way she's doing this all because she's happy for me. I don't care what my dad says. I want you to be there by me for my wedding.
Oh, Joy. You really don't know how happy it makes me to hear you say all these sweet things about me. But I just really don't think that your dad or Linda would appreciate my being there. And I'm also sure that ulterior motives aside, they both do really want to be there to see you walk down the aisle.
Hold on a second. I think that I've just come up with the perfect plan to fix all of this.
What do you mean? What did you come up with, Joy?
You're just gonna have to trust me on this one. But you have to show up to the wedding, okay? Please. You're the only parent of mine that I even want there. Linda and Dad don't care about me. They just care about themselves. If you aren't going to be able to be there, then I don't even want a wedding.
Well, this is just a beautiful wedding, don't you think? And watching my little girl get married to a stinking rich fiancé just brings a tear to your eye. This is probably the nicest wedding that I've ever been to.
Oh, really? Do you think this wedding is nice?
Of course I do. This is probably how people in Hollywood do it when they get married. And to think that Joy's fiancé brought along his parents too. It really saved me a lot of explaining I'd have had to do with this divorce.
Oh, trust me, the pleasure was all mine in doing so.
Ah, aren't you sweet? Well, Linda is sitting with me. She wants to say to thank you as well. It's all thanks to you that I'm back with my ex-wife and we're all one big happy family again. And look, Linda wanted me to tell you that she's grateful to you for raising her daughter up to be the kind of person who could score such a rich husband.
Well, you can go ahead and tell her that that is not why I raised Joy in the way that I did.
Wow, what's with the attitude, huh? Oh, I know you're upset because she stole me back. Now you're left with nothing, but there's no need to be rude. Or are you just jealous because you know that you'll never go to a wedding this fancy in your entire life? But I suppose I can't blame you. I mean, you spent 15 years raising my daughter. All that hard work and money and effort, and you aren't even allowed to watch her get married now. But at least Joy's real mum is here to help her celebrate instead, eh?
Oh, please, Tom, don't even pretend like you understand how I feel about any of this.
I know that I'm right about what I'm saying when you respond to me like that. Oh, I know it'll make you feel better. Since I'm already here, I can send you a picture of Joy in her wedding dress. That'll be sure to cheer you up, right? And maybe you can stop being such a grouch about all this. I know that we're divorced, and I really don't have any reason to keep talking to you. But I feel like a picture's the least that I could do. Just too bad that that's the closest you're going to get to seeing Joy on her big day.
I actually don't need to see a picture of her, thanks. I already have a great view of it from where I'm sitting right now. But anyways, I think the wedding is about to start, so maybe you should stop all your texting. Or better yet, why don't you just turn off your phone?
Wait a second, what? What do you mean you have a great view of the wedding? How'd you know it was about to start? Did you break in here?
No, I'm at a different wedding than you and Linda. I'm at the real wedding for Joy and her fiancé, so I didn't bother going to the other place like you two.
The real wedding? And just what is that supposed to mean, huh?
Well, I mean that I'm at Joy's wedding with her to watch over her and give her away. But you all are just going to be watching a live stream of the real wedding, which I'm at.
Wait a second. A live stream of the wedding? What is going on here? I don't have a clue as to what you're talking about. The wedding is going to happen here and now where I am. I got the invitation from Joy, had the address for the venue, and that's where I'm at now.
Well, yes. You got the invitation to go to the auxiliary venue where we were going to set up screens for the guests we couldn't fit in the real thing to watch. Honestly, you should be grateful that Joy's fiancé was so thoughtful and suggested doing this since there were going to be so many people.
I don't understand.
Anyways, I know that you as proud parents, you two are going to really enjoy watching the stream. I hope you enjoy the show, you two. And I hope you enjoy watching my walk Joy down the aisle.
Hold on a second, Harmony. Were you telling the truth about 2 different wedding venues? This doesn't make any sense. You two aren't even related by blood. How come Linda and I just get to watch the wedding on a screen while you're there for the real thing?
Oh, well, I guess you two just weren't important enough to the bride or groom to be invited to the real thing. But again, you should be grateful that at least you have the opportunity to watch via the live stream.
I don't believe it. How can this be happening?
Well, it is happening, Dad. You kept putting Harmony down despite all she did for me. But neither you nor Linda were invited to the real wedding. And as of today, I never want to talk to either of you. Ever again. The only parent I have left in my life is Harmony. Do you understand?
Excuse me, and just who are you to talk to your parents like this, young lady?
I think that I'm an adult who can make decisions for myself and determine who my own family is. And that's why neither of you are welcome here.
I don't understand. Where's all this anger coming from? I mean, you do realise that Harmony isn't even your real mother, right? But Linda and I are your real parents. You can't treat us like this. How can you just try and cut us out of your life like this? It doesn't make any sense.
The only person whose actions don't make sense around here is you. Harmony took us in and gave us all the support we needed 15 years ago, and you just leave her? You're terrible, Dad!
You don't know what you're talking about at all.
I know that Linda left you to raise me all on your own, but you only ever treated me like I was an iron ball tied to your ankle. To other people, you always put on the humble single father face and made everyone like you. But I know that you don't deserve an ounce of sympathy.
You're such a little brat. Look, you have no idea what you're talking about. Are you really saying that I didn't put in just as much hard work as Harmony in taking care of her? I worked, I cooked, I cleaned, and it was all for you. I'm even getting back together with your mum for you.
Oh, please, Dad, just stop it. You're not doing any of that for me, and you were overjoyed when you finally married Harmony because it meant having to worry less about taking care of me. I thought that things might finally change for me when you did get married. But all my life, I felt like you resented me for even opening my mouth. And you were always telling me to go to Harmony if I ever had any troubles because you told me you were too busy. You never wanted anything to do with me.
Is that really how I acted towards you? Even so, I'm still your father, and you need to respect me.
I don't care who you are. I'm an adult now, and you need to show me some respect too. But instead, you were always putting down Harmony and I for just existing. You don't get to call yourself my father if you were never even one to me in the first place. In fact, I never want to talk to you or Linda ever again.
Oh, come on, you're not really serious about that, are ya?
Of course I am. And you could go ahead and tell Linda I said as much too. Besides, she only ever came back to you because she thinks that she's going to be able to get some money out of this. Anyways, it's time for me to go out and get married. Enjoy the show, you two. Hey, Harmony, I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming to my wedding today.
Oh, sweetie, it was my pleasure. Thank you so much for insisting that I be there. I know this was your big day, but it was one of the happiest of mine as well.
I promise to never forget all that you've done for me. And I want you to know that even my husband's family understands that I only have one parent, and it's you.
Well, I look forward to getting to know them all. After all, you're the only daughter I have as well. And please feel free to come over and visit whenever you'd like.
Give me back my daughter, you evil witch. I thought I told you to never go near her again after you and I were divorced. You're taking things way too far now. You ruined my relationship with Joy. You've blown up my whole family and made me watch my only daughter get married via stream.
I'm sorry you're so upset over all of this, but you should know that this was all Joy's idea. She raised the idea of having a stream of the wedding to her fiancé, and he arranged for it all to be done. I didn't even know what her plan was until I showed up on the day of.
Mean that you had no idea any of this was going to happen at all?
That's right. So don't come to me acting as if I've brainwashed Joy or something. She acted on her own, and the decision to cut you out of her life was all hers. If you have a problem with any of that, I'm not the one you should be complaining to.
I've tried reaching out to Joy, but she won't answer the phone when I call her. That little brat, who does she think she is, ignoring her father like this? She's a terrible daughter. It's all your fault. You did brainwash her against me because you're the biggest influence she's had in all her life.
But we're not related by blood, and that's all that really matters to you, right? Well, maybe you finally understand how a real family doesn't have to be bonded by blood.
Are you kidding me right now?
It's just what you said, Tom. Anyways, I'm quite busy and don't have any more time to waste on this conversation.
This isn't a game. You have to help me out here. This is all your fault and you need to make Joy take me back. At least tell me how I can get in contact with her new husband. Maybe he'll have the good sense to listen to what I'm trying to say.
You want to talk to her new husband?
Well, how was I supposed to know that my own daughter wanted to cut me off? Besides, I wanted to talk to him on the day of the wedding about getting a job with his family's company. And I wasn't even invited. You ruined my shot at a huge step up.
A new job? What's wrong with your current job?
Well, the thing is that I don't have a current job anymore. It wasn't like I wanted to just stop working though. But I just figured since my daughter was going to be marrying into the family, that I might be able to land myself a good job with them.
Did you really think that that was going to work?
Why wouldn't it? Linda and I both really want to work there, and I think we should be able to. So we really need to reach out to Joy's new husband. If Joy isn't going to talk to us anymore, then we need to go through her husband instead.
That is one of the stupidest things I've heard. I mean, did you really think that his family was going to serve 2 high-paying jobs to you both on a silver platter just because you're Joy's parents?
But I already quit my job. Besides, they have to understand that as her parents, we deserve to get something for all our troubles.
And that's why you think you deserve a job like that?
Please, I've already quit. You have to help us. I was looking forward to getting to spend the rest of my days with Linda, working a cushy job, buying whatever I wanted.
Well, I'm afraid that you two are just going to have to think of something else. I'm afraid that Joy has made up her mind about you two and told her in-laws not to treat either of you as family. So I think that even if you tried talking to her new husband, you still wouldn't get what you want. So you two are just going to have to learn how to make do with what you have. In the end, apparently Tom did find a way to talk with Joy's in-laws. But they told him that as far as they were concerned, Joy only had one parent, and it was me. Then they asked him to leave them and their son alone, since he had nothing to do with either of them, and they shut the door in his face. Tom tried to reach out to me again after that, but I ignored him until I finally decided to block him on everything. Now with no job and no prospects, Tom was desperate to think of something. Linda, however, realized that this isn't the life she was hoping for, and told Tom she wanted a divorce. Again. Tom did his best to keep Linda with him, but the fighting between only got worse, and even the neighbors could hear them shouting at each other.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey, Sarah. I hear that you've decided to get married to Andy now, right?
What are you trying to ask me about? I already told you before that he proposed to me and that we got engaged, right? So, of course, I've decided to marry him.
But that was about half a year ago, right? And this whole time since then, you haven't brought him over to see your parents. I haven't even been able to talk with his parents at all about either of you both. Are you guys moving along with all your planning for this marriage all right? I'm sure that me asking you over and over is getting a bit annoying for you, but I'm just a little nervous about what's going on there.
If you feel that you're being annoying right now, then maybe you should stop bugging me all the time. And by the way, Andy has already met with the family and his parents were able to meet with Dad just last week.
What? He came over to our house already? And last week his parents got to meet with your dad?
I'm so sorry, Jill. I don't really want to have Andy meeting with you. So I made sure to have him over here as well as have his parents meet with Dad, all while you were at work.
Huh?
So now that you're aware of all that, preparations for our marriage are going fine, so stop worrying about me now. We are able to get everything done as long as you keep your nose out of it.
Hold it right there, Sarah. What do you mean you did all of that stuff on days I was at work? And what's this about you not even wanting me to meet him? Why would you not want me meeting him?
You already know the reason for that. You are not my real mom.
What?
I never told Andy that my dad ended up getting married to another woman. So having him meet you now would be a whole lot of explaining I'd have to do on my part, and that's a pain.
Well, why haven't you told him anything about how your dad got remarried? It's not like having a parent who has gotten remarried is a rare thing these days, right?
Huh? Are you being serious right now? Even if having a parent get remarried isn't very rare anymore, it brings up all kinds of red flags. People begin to wonder if things are okay between both the parents. And some people will want to know why my real mother isn't around anymore. I don't want onlookers to start questioning about things like that. I hate that.
I understand that there will be people that will ask those sorts of questions. You do have to be a little more open with people when it comes to your past. But nothing bad ever happened with you in the past, and for as far back as I can remember, I've been your real mom. I would be able to explain things for you as well if you want, and I'm sure that Andy and his parents will understand. They most likely won't even care that I'm not your biological mother.
Stop acting like all of that could be so easy. There's still a chance that Andy or his parents see this family as a broken one and think that there's something wrong with me before running off, right? They will learn about how my actual mother threw me away after I was born. They will think I'm a child not worth being loved. And then what will I be able to do about it?
All you have to do is tell them things are fine with you. You and I can even tell them that for the past 20 years now, you've had me as your mother and you've been a wonderful daughter for me. Tell them that as of right now, our family is full of love. And actually, if they really were to have issues with you not being with your biological mother now, then they are not probably worth being family to.
Stop messing around. Andy thinks that I'm a 1 in a million girl and the best woman for him right now. And to me, I feel the same way because he's from a famous university, is becoming a doctor now, and has lots of money. I will not allow a man like him to get away from me. I'm going to get married to this man no matter what.
Then you'd better hurry things up, Missy, and explain that your dad is married to me and that I've been like your mom for 20 years now. I know it may be difficult to say them now, but I promise it's easier to explain now than it will be later. There really is no reason to hide something like this from him and his family. Please explain the truth to Andy right now.
Hawk, shut up already. I have this all thought out already, so shut up. You're not even my real mom, so stop trying to give me freaking advice. All you are is some old hag that's just been living with me and my dad in this freaking house for 20 years.
Whoa there! What did you just say to me?
Just don't say anything to my fiancé or his family, okay? If you go telling him about yourself behind my back, then I will seriously make you regret that choice for the rest of your life.
Pardon me for texting you so late at night. Would this happen to be Jill's phone number I'm texting right now? You should be Sarah's current mother, right?
And who is this that I'm talking to?
Sorry for not saying that at the beginning. I happen to be Sarah's biological mother, Beverly, but you can call me Bev for short.
What? So you're Christian's ex-wife then?
That's right. I had actually just heard about how Sarah will be getting married. I have some things I wanted to say about that, hence me texting you now.
Some things to say about it?
Well, more like I have a favor to ask you, rather. Could I please ask that you go and tell Sarah to stop talking to me from now on? I have been trying to tell her that myself for so many times now, but she seems to think that I'm only asking that to keep distance as the ex-wife. No matter how many times I tell her to stop, she just keeps texting and calling me. It's beginning to become a little too excessive.
I'm sorry about that, but can you explain to me in a little more detail what's going on here? I'm not really sure why you guys have been talking in the first place either.
Let me explain things a bit more. I'm sure hearing all of this from someone like me for the first time is a bit too much to handle. Well, let's get started with how this all started. Let's start with how all this started. A few months ago now, Sarah began contacting me out of nowhere. She wanted to tell me that she was going to be getting married.
What? So Sarah went ahead and told you about that?
I'm surprised by that myself, considering I had her right before I divorced her father. I was happy at the time for her contacting me, though, after it's been 2 decades. And so I replied back to her saying congratulations and all that. But since then, she just keeps on texting and calling me nonstop. She's been trying to ask me to go to meet her fiancé, and she wants me to meet his parents as well. She's even wanting to ask me to come to her wedding now, and that's just too much for me. I'm stumped right now because I don't know what else I can do here.
Really?
Of course I've said no to everything she's asked me to do. There's no way a woman like me should have anything to do with her marriage. She shouldn't even remember who I am, considering I left when she was still so small. And I think for someone like you who has raised her for 20 years now, her asking me to be her mom is very rude.
Could you slow down there for a second? Did Sarah really invite you to meet her fiancé and his family as well as to her wedding?
Yes, she really did. That's why I wanted you to have a talk with her, considering you should be the one dealing with all those things. I've even explained to her to have you meet his parents and be at the wedding, but she continues to want me there instead.
I just want to check with you on this. But you and Sarah don't have a bad relationship with one another.
What?
I'm sorry for asking that out of the blue, but you were the one that blew Sarah away when she was still young, right? You ended up staying for a little bit, but just before she entered elementary school, you left her to her dad. I just can't imagine how she would still see you as her mother when you did that to her and wants you to be at her wedding.
I understand that what happened back then was very selfish and wrong of me, but I was not the one that ended up leaving him. They both were the ones that forced me to leave.
What?
So having to talk with someone like Sarah again about how she wants me after her wedding is heartbreaking for me. After all that I had to go through with her dad and her before I was forced away, I really don't get why she wants me back now. She's acting like all those terrible things they did to me 20 years ago is all forgotten now, and that's really upsetting me.
Wait a second. So it was those two that made you leave? You weren't the one who just gave up on caring for Sarah and left one day without telling them?
So that's how they have been explaining it to you?
So far, that's the only way I've remembered the story. Sarah always tells everyone about how you threw her away and left her with her dad. And Christian is always saying that it was his ex's fault that Sarah is always so rude.
Those two really only care about their own image. Well, so much time has gone by since then that I don't care how they talk about me. Just understand that I don't want anything to do with her marriage. So would you please tell her that for me? Please and thank you.
Sarah, what is going on here? I just arrived at the wedding venue and the staff are telling me I can't go in. They keep telling me I'm not invited to this wedding and that I need to go away.
Sorry about that, Jill. But now that you see I mean business, I need my fake mommy to go away, please. Make sure you get out of here quickly so my fiance's family don't see who you are.
Huh? Fake mommy?
I really wanted my real mom to be at my wedding day, so I thought that I never tell him about how dad got married to you after my mom ran off. And so far, I've done a great job of hiding you from all of them, right? That's why I wanted you getting as far away from here as possible today, so you don't screw things up for me. I don't need a person like you here today.
I can't believe you, Sarah. You have all these things you should be talking about with your fiancé, yet it's now the day of your guys' wedding and you haven't explained a single thing.
I have no desire to explain things to him and his family that comes with potential risks. I really want this wedding to go well and for me to be married to this guy.
Well, your wedding is going to fail if you don't explain this to them. You can turn me away all you want, but that's not going to make your actual mother show up today.
She's going to come here. I already went and sent her an invitation to this wedding as well, and she said okay to coming today.
What?
It might have been 20 years now since we've last seen one another, but I knew her being my real mom meant she wanted to be here to see me. And even Dad said he's supporting me on my choice today. This wedding will be totally fine even with you sitting back at home.
So even Christian is supporting having his ex-wife here? I wonder what that should mean to me now. Who am I to the both of you then? Because originally I thought that I was your mom after I spent 20 years of my life raising you. Yet now you're saying I can't be here to see your wedding today?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Actually, I have never once thought of you as my mom in any way.
What?
All you are to me is the fake mother my dad dragged into our house. Dad just needed someone to be around the house and do all the chores after my mom left. That's why he ended up marrying you and letting you sleep with us. He might have called you his wife, but I have never thought of you as my mom.
Sarah, are you sure that's what you really want to be saying right now? I understand that you don't have to call me your real mom or anything like that. But I have raised you for 2 decades now as my daughter and deserve at least a little respect for that. I wanted to help both your dad and you out, and that's why I spent so long putting in a ton of effort. So how are you able to say something so cruel to me?
You really need to shut up again. Just go the hell home already, you old hag. Nobody needs you here. I invited my actual mom to be here today, so get lost. You're not even on the list of guests who should be here today.
All right then, I'm leaving.
Bye-bye now, you old fart. Now that you're useless to everyone here, you can go and live out the rest of your life on the couch watching soap operas on TV. We'll all be here today enjoying my wedding as I have fun with my real mom and dad.
I will say, though, that you won't be making any good memories at that wedding today. And once you've experienced all of that, good luck taking care of the mess on your own.
Huh? What the hell are you talking about? What do you mean I'll only be making bad memories today?
I would like you to learn about that firsthand. Now I'm going home, but it's probably going to suck going straight back home from here. I'll go stop somewhere and grab a bite to eat or something beforehand.
What am I going to do, Jill? My real mom isn't coming to my wedding today.
Oh my, what could that be? You already told me how she said okay to coming today, right?
I want to ask the same freaking thing. It's past time for her to be here with me, and I've tried calling her 15 times now, but the call just immediately ends every time. And then when I finally thought that I got a text from her, all she was doing was telling her that she didn't want to come, so she's not coming.
Oh, that's too bad.
There's no way this is happening. I went through all that trouble to invite her, and she went and canceled last minute on me. I guess my mom has still not learned her dang lesson yet. What the hell does she mean by never giving me an answer to the invitation and that I just assumed she'd come? She has no right saying that to me after canceling just now.
What? So she never actually said okay to coming there today? Yet you just assumed she'd be coming?
Of course I assumed she'd come. She was the one that gave birth to me, right? This is the wedding of her daughter she spent 9 months making. Is there really a mom like that who would cancel last minute on the day of her daughter's wedding after all the trouble of giving birth to her?
There really is a mom like that though, Sarah. So would you please stop your whining and just have your wedding? I will never go to your wedding today, so stop it.
What?
I'm sorry for interrupting your little temper tantrum here. I wasn't really paying any attention and accidentally picked up Jill's phone.
What? Wait a second. Is this you, Mom? What? Is this really you, Mom? My real mom? The one that gave birth to me?
Yes, it's me. And right now, I'm here with Jill having some drinks at this restaurant. We just ordered our lunches and will soon to be having some really good food with our mimosas. So would you please stop interrupting us?
Wait. What's going on here? Why is my mom and Jill having lunch right now with one another? Today is the day of my wedding, and you cancel last minute to go out for lunch with her?
I did not cancel last minute, you brat. I said long ago that I wouldn't be coming by never RSVPing to your wedding. You're the only one who thought that I'd be there today, just by assuming I said okay.
Really? Hold on a second. I can't keep up with what's going on here. I want to know why the hell the both of you are having lunch together. You are my real mom, and that woman is my fake mom, right? My dad's ex-wife and his current wife? You guys have never met one another before, yet you're going out for lunch right now?
Jesus Christ, would you calm it? You're like a spastic little rat right now, texting so quickly and including so many exclamation points. Now, I'm happy that you recognize the obvious thing, because I'm your dad's ex and she's his current wife. And as for what you're confused about, this is actually our first time meeting one another in person.
Huh? So, it really is your first time?
You and Jill were just talking to one another a little bit ago, right? Well, she got tired of dealing with you and started to text me. She wanted to inform me that she was not allowed in your wedding and had to go home. So she then had the great idea of inviting me out to eat. She didn't want to go back home to just sit there and text with you all day after how annoying you've already been. So I was asked if I wanted to come out and have some lunch and mimosas, and of course I couldn't say no to that.
So that's how you both met up today and are having lunch together now? Why the hell did you both know one another's phone number though? I have no idea how that can just happen.
Stop yelling, please. You want to know how? I spent a lot of time looking around for her phone number, and then I asked her a favor over text. I asked for her to tell you to stop texting and calling me for good.
Huh?
Well, no matter how many times I told you to stop talking to me, you just kept coming. So I asked her to please make sure you stopped all of that. I tried to be nice to you by saying I didn't want to talk anymore, but every time you'd say for your real mom to not be so mean to you. And that I didn't need to worry about being your dad's ex-wife. Just those two responses over and over and over again. I had enough and had to ask Jill to shut you the hell up.
What? Wait a second. Mom, you actually went and texted Jill? You didn't tell her anything you weren't supposed to, right?
Oh, well, could you explain to me right now what those things I wasn't supposed to tell her was? Are you talking about how you went and asked for me to meet your fiancé's parents instead of with your mom that's been raising you? Or that whole lie you and your dad have been telling everyone about me throwing you both away? When really, it was you two that kicked me out of your lives and told me to get lost. Were those the kinds of things I wasn't supposed to tell her?
Hold on.
Oh, wait. So you just thought that I might have forgotten to say anything about the details? Because from what you guys were telling Jill, I was a terrible wife and mother that never did any of the chores or took good enough care of you, right? Even though I worked my ass off for the both of you to be happy, and yet you still both talked down to me all this time, even after your dad divorced me and kicked me out of the house.
Wait, please. I'm asking you to please not tell any of that to Jill for me.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Sarah. Jill already knows every single detail about that now.
What?
After I told her all of this, she was kind enough to fill me in on all the things you were lying about regarding me. Things like how your dad would tell her that I was to blame for you being a little brat, and that I was the one who divorced your dad and left you both without saying anything. But guess what? Even after 20 years of hearing that from the both of you regarding me, she knew something was up, and when I reached out to her, she said you guys were really lying to her.
You're lying. You really went and talked about all that with Jill already?
Yes, I made sure that conversation didn't end until she knew everything about me. I told her then about how the reason you've always been such a pile of crap is because your father raised you to hate the housewife like myself. And when he could have done something to prevent you from getting carried away with all that name-calling and abuse, he just sat there laughing. His reason for just laughing and not saying for you to stop was that he didn't want you to start hating him. And so he just went along with you and continued to dig into me. I told Jill about all those days of my life where I had to live through hell with you two, and all the details with that. And it seems that the two of you still talk crap about me even though it's been 20 freaking years. What? Jill listened very closely to everything I told her, and when she would tell me each time how you both would change those stories to make me look like the bad guy. Both you and Christian are so amazing at making every little story seem like you guys did nothing wrong at all and you were just victims. And Jill had believed for so long that you guys were being honest with her. And on top of that, she raised you for those 20 years as though you were her real daughter. Yet, you just went and told her she wasn't allowed at your wedding and sent her away. You really have not changed one bit since the day I was forced to leave. I knew right from the moment you started to talk to me again about how you were getting married that I should not go to your wedding. And that was the correct choice by a long shot.
Don't say something like that, please. Please come here. I will apologize to you later for all that happened back then. So please, if you come to this wedding and I won't make fun of you or talk bad about you anymore, why would you say you don't want to be here when you're my real mother?
Wow, I would love to say those exact things to the past you. Why would you treat me so poorly and call me terrible names when you're my real daughter? Day by day, I was called a useless old hag by you. And day by day, I was treated like your slave. I will never forget all the terrible things you've done to me, and I will never forgive you.
No, Mom.
Now, you have yourself one hell of a wedding. Us two moms will be enjoying ourselves a few dissenters of mimosas and talking about how much fun being a divorced woman is.
Please, Jill. Right now it's fine that you'll be my mom, so please come to the wedding. Right now my fiancé and his parents are all asking to see my mom. I can't keep them fooled any longer, so please come here quickly.
Why do you still need to fool them anyway, though? Tell them that you had the mom who raised you for 20 years turned away from your wedding. And then tell them that your real mom that gave birth to you hates your guts and will not be coming.
You think I can say something like that to them? Listen, even Dad is wanting to apologize to you. He keeps saying that he's sorry for always making you take care of me all these years as well.
It's too late for you guys to be apologizing now. He was even okay with you turning me away from your wedding. So there's really no turning back from that for either of you.
He only agreed and supported me because I told him to.
There we go. There we go. That's the thing I've always hated about your father and that Bev was talking about. He will never say no or go against anything you say. I know you might not have been aware of this, but I've been having a really bad time with you both. But every time I'd go to your dad and ask him about your attitude, he'd tell me it's all his ex's fault you're such a brat and to not get upset with you. The thing is, though, he can blame Bev all he wants, but he was raising you alongside her all that time, so what the hell was he really doing there?
Jill? What happened to you? What happened to the really nice Jill I always really knew?
That Jill died about 20 years ago and has been living as a ghost inside me for the past 2 decades. But she was set free by Bev, and now you're left with the real Jill.
What?
She had stuck around as a ghost all that time because she was still believing in the dream that died along with her. That dream of having a loving family that would respect her for all the effort she put in. But all these years, you both have done nothing but treat me like crap, even making sure to talk about your real mom like trash. Well, since the nice ghost is long gone now, you're left with the real Jill who can easily tell you're both not worth my time anymore. And now, let me introduce you to your dad's second divorce. Congratulations, woohoo! Now would you tell him that for me?
What? Another divorce?
Now neither Bev nor myself have to be your mother, and neither of us have any reason to be at your wedding. So now that you're aware of that, don't talk to me ever again.
But, wait, you can at least divorce my dad, but at least come to my wedding and help me out here. This is your daughter who you've raised for 20 years, wedding, you know. Are you trying to say that you're fine with this whole wedding being ruined now?
I want your wedding to go up in flames. Goodbye forever now, you little brat. Now that it's past 12, Bev and I are cracking open a bottle of champagne and are getting wasted to celebrate. As for what happened at Sarah's wedding right after that, she tried to explain the truth of what happened to her fiancé and his parents. But after telling them about how she had her mother of 20 years turned away from the wedding, all because she didn't want her fiancé knowing about her dad getting remarried 20 years ago, they stood there in disbelief. Then both of her fiancé's parents looked her in the eye and said the wedding was off, and that their son would not be marrying a lying, selfish, ungrateful woman such as herself. The wedding was then canceled officially, and as everyone was leaving, Sarah tried to convince her fiancé to stay with her, only for him to say that he could never see himself marrying such a bitch. before turning away and running out. Then the cost of that whole wedding ended up falling on Sarah's shoulder, making her the one responsible for paying it off. When it comes to myself, right after that fiasco was over, I told my husband that the divorce was happening, and not a day later we were officially separated. Then I left that house of theirs and am now sharing a house with my new friend Bev. Back when we had that lunch together, under the influence of a lot of alcohol, we agreed that after I left Christian, I should move into her place. So that's what we did after that divorce, and I have to say every day here has been wonderful with her so far.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.